Welcome to the pod. You're listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts, and we are back with another Toxic Tuesday episode. It wouldn't be a Toxic Tuesday episode without a Real Housewives of Atlanta and a Rhode Island recap. Of course, we're talking about Ciara Miller's article with Glamour Magazine and the latest with Taylor Frankie Paul. Welcome to the pod. You're listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts, and we are back with another video. I just had like the biggest piece of lint on my microphone. What is going on, you guys? Welcome to another Toxic Tuesday. I just feel like it's always some mess going on for Toxic Tuesdays. Like, what be going on? Obviously, we watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've watched Rhode Island. I have to give Ladies of London another shot, another time. I was this close this weekend to starting Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh, you guys. The color of the season, if you're watching me on YouTube, is butter yellow. And I'm obsessed. I got my nails done. Period. I wanted to start Ladies of London, but I just kept getting distracted. I was this close to starting Beverly Hills this past weekend because I know the reunion's out. How Beverly Hills got a 3-part reunion and Married to Medicine didn't is honestly a mystery to me. What else was I trying to watch? I've been rewatching The Office right now, the extended version on Peacock, which I much appreciate. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with Netflix because I've had the highest tier, but Netflix prices are honestly insane. Especially when you have so many other streaming networks, but I want to watch Running Point when it comes out, and I want to watch this Lamar Odom. I cannot imagine Netflix with ads. And I'm like, does the lowest tier, oh my gosh, I have an update. Does the lowest tier even offer like all of the stuff? I feel like the lowest tier doesn't. Like some stuff is locked, and I'll be damned if I go to click on the Lamar Odom documentary and it's locked because I have the lowest tier. But I don't need the highest one. So what is the difference? Stuff is still going to be locked. Netflix has lost their effing mind. Honestly, $30 for a streaming subscription that is worth a lot of money that can afford to do a $15.99 is insane to me. I'm so stressed because I really want to watch Running Point. On the bright side, nobody wants this is even close to production. Euphoria's out. I'm not watching it. I don't know. I might watch it when a couple more episodes are out so I can binge it. I'm not really interested in Euphoria right now. I'm just not. I'm trying to make sure my mic was on. That one time I recorded with my mic and it was an echo. I was so freaking pissed in my white chick's voice. What else? Okay, so I started Beyond the Villa. And I'm not going to lie, it's actually really good. The fact that we don't have Huda on there, Alandria, Shelly, and Ace, like, honestly worked out for the best because there's a lot of drama. Definitely tune in to Beyond the Villa. Let's move into these reality topics before we talk about Atlanta and Rhode Island, another 2 great episodes. But yeah, Beyond the Villa, pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm going to wait to give some thoughts. I don't want to judge anything prematurely. Maybe my next Toxic Tuesday, I'll share more thoughts once I have another episode out. But I don't want to judge anything too prematurely. Let's start off with some Toxic Tuesday reality topics. Taylor Frankie Paul. So she has been cleared of all domestic violence charges. once that was announced, there were pictures leaked via TMZ. I don't know how leaked that is if it's happening through TMZ, but basically of Dakota with a super bloodied face, assuming it is for him to get his lick back once he found out that the charges against Taylor Frankie Paul had no um not evidence. I mean, the evidence is there. The video's there, but they weren't moving forward. They're not gonna press charges or anything. Like, she's not gonna be held responsible in the state of Utah's court, right? It was deaded. He dropped some pictures. There's a picture circulating of him after their incidents. There is a specific picture that shows a bloodied nose that honestly looks like ketchup. Like, can we say that? It looks exactly like he opened a ketchup packet. I don't even think he got the bottle of ketchup. He opened a ketchup packet and he smeared it under his nose. It looks so bad. Um, it looks so bad. Trigger warning when you guys look it up. It's not giving a real bloody nose. He's honestly released a statement saying he's taking a step back from the spotlight and he needs to focus, regarding this whole unhealthy chapter. Taylor Frankie Paul has also released a statement. A lot of people are releasing statements right now. And the only statement I'm interested in is Ciara Miller's, which we are going to get into. But they both released statements. As you guys do know, Vanderpump Villa has edited out dad talk out of the season, which I honestly think is the smartest move. None of us wants to see that. I'm wondering, obviously, since her charges were cleared, does this mean the Bachelorette will be coming back for her season? Because I definitely think they should. I feel like it would be remiss to miss that opportunity. And did I just use that term twice? It would be dumb for them not to use that season. It honestly would have garnered so much protection. But yeah, Taylor Frankie Paul is now speaking out, regarding the no charges. Let's see what she said. I always try to, let me see what she has said. She has spoken out, and yeah, I'm glad she's not facing any charges. Honestly, I'm not watching. I gotta silence my phone. I'm not watching The Valley right now either. So I don't know. What are the people watching right now besides Rhode Island and Atlanta? I just got a text. I'm not even watching The Valley. I don't want to negatively talk about shows. So I just rather not watch them, if I'm being honest. I don't really want to read Dakota's statement. I want to read Taylor Frankie Paul's. So this is what she has said regarding everything. She says she was diagnosed with PTSD about 2 years ago, which I assume is now CPTSD, by more than one therapist for all those that assume diagnosis. And this is what she said on Sunday. I record on Mondays. She said, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Oh, I did not know that. Experiencing chronic trauma prolonged by child abuse or domestic violence. So she basically said that, just in case you didn't know what disassociation and anxiety looks like. So she's like showing a video of herself. And then, yeah. Okay. She said, how many of us are masters of smiling through it? I cry a lot, and high chance someone next to you does this and you have no idea. I just want to heal so I can try and help people in this. I also think they're probably going to start filming for Secret Lives and Mormon Lives. They were waiting for these charges to get cleared. And this is what the statement said by the Utah County District Attorney Office after reviewing reports and evidence submitted to the Draper Police Department and isn't Jesse's last name Draper? In West Jordan Police Department, the Salt Lake County District Attorney Office has declined to file charges against Taylor Frankie Paul. Yeah, that's what that said. And so then she also continued. This article is honestly all over the place, you guys. I'm trying to read this from US Magazine. This article, I'm sorry, whoever wrote this. We're not even going to finish that. Either way, she says she's struggling with PTSD, now CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic disorder, obviously from all of the incidents she's had with Dakota and, childhood trauma as well. I know she's experienced a lot of that. So that is what she's saying. It looks like she's in better health. I don't know if Secret Lives of Mormon Wives will be filming anytime soon. They still got a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing that Jesse and Marciano are being spotted out on the town. We know Jesse's divorce is happening right now. What else is going on? We know that Miranda's Chase, was seen kissing Jesse. So there's still a lot of mess happening there. I think production, if anything, would want Taylor Frankie Paul to come back, but I know a lot of the girls put a halt on that. They were like, we don't want to film with her. And I just feel like they don't really have the gumption to do that, because I just feel like there would be no show without Taylor Frankie Paul. I'm sorry, I'm going to be like the minority. Like, yeah, Taylor Frankie Paul probably does need help. And I don't want to expose her chaoticness, but to watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives without Taylor Frankie Paul is literally like watching Real Housewives of Atlanta without Nene Leakes and Kenya Moore. It's just not fulfilling. There's some pieces missing, There is some pieces missing. Other than that, it was a crazy incident that happened this weekend. Ice Spice was slapped at a McDonald's. The video, you guys look it up, it's everywhere. There was a video of Ice Spice essentially eating her McChicken, or was it a burger? I don't know. I think it was a McChicken. Some fries with her white friend. Let's just point that out, right? She was eating with her white friend. This girl comes up to them. She tries to sit in the same booth. This looks like a person that was not white. She was not white. She was definitely mixed. I don't know if she was Latino. She definitely was not white. She tries to sit down with them and she says, "Are y'all ready to shake some?" And Ice Spice said, "Shake somewhat." Like, shake somewhat. And she said, "Shake ass. You ready to shake ass?" Ice Spice is like, "Oh, you shake ass?" And she's like pointing for her. She's like, "You shake ass?" Like, because she came over there basically like, "You gonna shake some ass, right?" Because that's what Ice Spice is known for. She twerks, But honestly, it's like 2 a.m. in the morning in California. Keep in mind, this is taking place in California. And this woman, this random fan, comes up and says, "You ready to shake some ass?" She's like, "Shake some ass. You shake ass?" Pointing for you to get going, right? She doesn't get going. She's like, "Where are you from?" Ice Spice says she is from McDonald's and Wendy's. She did not say where she was from, but like, obviously we all know Ice Spice is from New York. Once she eventually say New York, this crazy clout demonized fan is standing over her. And so I guess my only critique in the video is I don't see how it escalated to that point where Ice Spice could have even gotten swinged on, because this woman was already standing over her, this crazy fan. I was shocked Ice Spice remained seating for that long as this person is standing over her. Like, I was genuinely shocked. Like, if someone's immediately standing over you and already yelling, surely you're going to stand up. She was just sitting there, like, and so the girl swung on her because I guess she was like offended. Which is, we're gonna talk about the woman's response to that video. Either way, they get into a squabble after she swings on her. Ice Spice chases down the McDonald's tables, like she's stepping on the tables like they're stairs, like she's on a stairmaster. And this guy, the video continues. The guy, I'm assuming the boyfriend of the alleged clout demonized fan, is now trying to fight Ice Spice after he broke it up. I pointed out the white friend because she clearly was not about it. She was trying to rip them apart, and then she went back to her food. She left Ice Spice alone. Honestly sucks, but you just don't know how people are going to respond. That's what the comments are saying. You just don't know. But if that was my friend, I would do something more than just return to my plate of food, white or black. So that was insane to me. So they end up fighting outside in the street as cars are driving by. I don't know. They try to it looks like they tried to jump Ice Spice. Obviously that didn't happen. Ice Spice and her attorneys are pressing charges, as they should. These parasocial relationships, like, I know I have one with Beyonce, but it's never to the point where if I see Beyonce out in public, which I would never, but if you see like one of your favorite celebrities or like someone you dislike, you're going up to them, like, let's have some couth and some decorum. I would never do that unless she is willingly signing autographs. I would mind my business, maybe take a video, but like, I'm not, like, this woman was clearly rage baiting Ice Spice, and it's like you don't even know her, right? So let's move on to this crazy demonized fan. She has now posted a video implicating herself even worse. She has said that when she came up to the table, Ice Spice was super rude to her. Keep in mind, we have the video and we can hear what they're saying. She said she was just trying to hang out with Ice Spice. She was super rude to her and called her a bitch. Ice Spice never called her a bitch, not until she swung on her. And yeah, so this girl is trying to rewrite the narrative, but it's looking really bad. Like, you could possibly definitely be going to jail because you assaulted someone for no reason. It doesn't say anything in the rules that, just because you are a celebrity, you have to be nice to people, just like regular people don't have to be nice to someone. If someone's rude to me, I can't just go up to them and assault them, right? Obviously, there's things that they could say to rage bait me and to get me to that point, but that's still assault, right? This clout demonized fan is now going to be facing some charges, and I do think they should be facing some charges because this was a clear attack on Ice Spice. She said she went to the McDonald's drive through or whatever, her friends pulled in and said, yo, I think that's Ice Spice in there. And then another argument in her video was that I'm from California. You can't be pulling that stuff in my city. Girl, it is so funny to me when people claim cities. Like, that's my city. That's my city. Like, whoop-de-doo. I don't give a damn. Who gives a damn? Like, you're asking Ice Spice, are you from here? Are you from Cali? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm from New York. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, what does it mean to claim a city, right? Your hometown. That is the most dumb thing ever. This is a clout demonized fan that was trying to be on the come up, and now she's about to be in the jail. She's about to be in the jail because you can't just go around slapping the folks just because you want to rage bait them or you want to go viral. You're going viral, and now you're about to be going viral, sitting your pretty butt in prison as you should be. This is the most dumb thing I've heard. Oh, she was being mean to me, so I slapped her. Okay, you need anger management, sweetie. Like, we're not just slapping people because they're rude to you. And trust me, there's people I want to slap, but I'm not slapping someone because they're rude to me. That's when you have self-control. This girl is done. I think Ice Spice is going to sue her for whatever money she has. And I do think she'll probably be facing some jail time, especially because she put a video out there and basically lied when there's footage. So I don't know. Is she facing jail time? I think that's the least she could do right now, is at least serve like 30 days or something. I think Ice Spice and them are fully gonna go ham because the video shows Ice Spice minding her business and you coming up to her. So that's what it's giving. There's a new Netflix series. It's called Kicking It in Calabasas. Let me see. I couldn't even remember the name because the video was just honestly insane. You guys, you have to look up the Ice Spice thing. It is so weird. There's a new Netflix series. It's called Calabasas. Is it called Calabasas Confidential? Period. It follows it's called Calabasas Confidential. It's releasing on Netflix May 29th. This looks really good. You guys, this is going to be showing the upper echelon. This is going to be showing the reality TVs, the influencers. This is going to be showing a group of tight-knit, wealthy friends, exes, and rivals returning to Calabasas after college to navigate drama and luxurious SoCal life. Now, I never knew that Jody Woods went to college, so I don't know if she's going to be an ex. We do know Larsa Pimpin's son Preston will be on there. We know Hersey Miller will be on there. Hersey Miller, if I'm not mistaken, wait, I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't want to misspeak with who I think his okay, his parents is Master P. Okay, that's what I thought. And his brother is, yeah, Romeo. He's related to the Millers. Okay. I had to make sure. Yeah, he's related to the Millers. Okay, Hersey Miller. Okay, I didn't want to misspeak. I'm like, wait a minute, Hersey Miller. So that's the three names we definitely have is Preston Pimpin, which is Larson, Scottie Pimpin's son, Jody Woods, Jordan Woods' sister, and then we have Hersey Miller, son of Master P. And then we also have Rain Michaels on here, who is the daughter of Brett Michaels. So it's going to be a good group of them. This is going to be produced by Kim Kardashian and Emma Roberts. Emma Roberts, recently produced something I was watching, and I was like, I did not know Emma Roberts was like a producer. I knew she was a producer, but she has a couple of shows she has produced that I did not know. What shows? She has a show that she produced. Oh my gosh. And I was just watching, I was like, Emma Roberts, and I feel like it was another reality show. Oh my gosh, guys, it's on the tip of my tongue. Let me Google Emma Roberts. I used to think me and her were related. Like, that's like one of my favorite actors as well. Her, Anne Hathaway, love them girls. Reality shows produced. She's produced another reality show, I swear. Not a reality show, but Tell Me Lies. I had just binged Tell Me Lies, and Emma Roberts was in the productions, and I didn't know she was like a producer now. So yes, she's a producer. Let's move on. Oh my gosh, it was on the tip of my tongue. Yes, because I just watched Tell Me Lies. Let's move on to Ciara Miller. Ciara Miller has now released her statement regarding everything. You know, she did it in the most high class way possible. She did a sit down article with Glamour Magazine. Shout out to Hunter Harris for writing that expose on Ciara Miller. So Ciara Miller, I think perhaps the biggest thing I was shocked to find out reading this with Glamour Magazine is that Amanda was invited to her 30th birthday and did not show up. And she said Amanda is one of those people that prefers to be invited but will probably not show up. And perhaps the biggest red flag for me was that Amanda didn't show up, but Wes showed up. It's very interesting how she words her friendship with Amanda, and it makes me second guess the validity of their relationship on the show. Like, was it not giving friends? I could have sworn it was giving friends. So she had a 30th birthday party. She extended the invitations. Amanda didn't go, but this is very interesting to me. So the question was asked between Wes and Amanda, who were you closer to? She said, definitely Amanda. But I feel like because Wes and I were working on our relationship. So was she closer to Wes? Definitely Amanda, but I feel like because Wes and I were working on our relationship. So she's saying she was only close to Amanda at the time because her and Wes were working on the relationship. I don't know, guys. I'm just kind of dissecting things. I'm like, were they not as cool as it was portrayed on the show? Is the show fake? She said, because we are exes, sometimes you spin the block, sometimes you land in situations where you guys are out. I feel like there's room to do that if that's your ex. I do feel like I was closer to Amanda at that particular time, but I also know she probably wasn't going to come to my birthday dinner just because ... You know the rule with her. She wants to be invited, but she doesn't necessarily want to come, which is fine because I'm totally the same. I appreciate the invite, but I don't want to go. But if that's your friend, why wouldn't your friend want to go to your 30th birthday party dinner? Right? Like, that's weird to me. Wes was at the birthday dinner. She said, I invited him and he came. I felt like we were trying to move in a more positive direction since We hadn't spoken to each other in 2 years. I felt like we were actually starting to be friends again. And we had a lot of conversations about, okay, what do I need from you? What do you need from me? What are some of the boundaries that we want to keep in place? What's going to make our friendship a lot easier? One of those boundaries was no more sleeping with people on Bravo. So I want to know who he slept with prior to Amanda. Obviously, now that that's out the window, at the end of the day, we were genuine friends, which I think was what made it so hurtful when everything kind of went south following our breakup and why I needed to take time after. She did not say Amanda is jealous of her. That was a question to ask. It was a good question. She's not going to say that Amanda's jealous of her. People have connected that Kyle defends Ciara a lot and that Amanda could possibly be jealous of that. Amanda also mentioned that during Summer House, how it's interesting to see Kyle go so hard for Ciara, but he won't do the same for her. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah. At the end of the day, she felt more betrayed by Amanda. So that was essentially the birthday thing was interesting to me. You guys should read the article. Amazing. I don't know if she's gonna sit down with a podcast. She did kind of throw shade at like instead of like sitting down with a podcast. So I'm just like, but I still think you should sit down with a podcast. Like if you don't sit down on Call Her Daddy, I don't want her to sit down on Call Her Daddy. I would love for her to go on a Black podcaster's show. I would love for her to go on Carlos King. I would even like for her to go on Kayla Nicole, the pregame. I think that would be a good one. I think Poor Minds would be a good one. They had Drew Sidora on there. I'm trying to think what other reality stars they've had on there. They've had some reality stars on there. They've had Drew Sidora. I feel like she needs to sit down with people that aren't going to focus on the negative, but that are going to let her speak. And I just Call Her Daddy. I just don't. Yeah, why do I know she's gonna go on Call Her Daddy? I have a feeling she might go on there, and hey, do what you got to do. There's a high chance she will be going on Call Her Daddy. I think she should honestly go where there's a majority. Shoot, go on Cam Newton. Don't go on Cam Newton, please do not. Oh my goodness, please do not. But I think she should go on something that is a Black podcaster because we want to ask the questions and we want to talk about race. You have to talk about race when it comes to this whole scenario and how the Black woman is the most underrepresented. If you guys haven't, make sure you listen to What's the Reality on What the Reality. I did do the timeline, the breakdown of Amanda, Wes, Ciara, and why I think it is so wrong. But other than that, I don't think she should go on Call Her Daddy. I don't think. If she goes on Call Her Daddy, will I watch it? Yes. But I hope if she does go on Call Her Daddy, can we talk about the real? Can we talk about how it's crazy that Wes was super quick to claim this situationship with Amanda, but has wanted nothing to do with any sort of relationship with Ciara? Can we talk about the race optics, or are we not going to get into that? Because you know what? I'm not going to lie. Miss Alex Cooper, she do be shocking me sometimes. So she might get into it. But I don't know. I just feel like people are also saying Rachel Lindsay because she's part of the Bachelor franchise or whatever. And I think they're actually good friends. So it's like, I don't know. I would love for her to go on a Black woman's podcast because I think that would be amazing. Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are on episode 3. Episode 3. So we get a continuation of K Michelle's BBL story. K Michelle got a BBL, or she didn't even get a BBL. She got shots. She's talked about she got shots done illegally in a different country. And ever since then, she has been sick, so she opted to get them removed. And the issue is when you have shots, they're never really out. It's like when people get filler. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you get filler in your face, it's never really gone. Filler is hyaluronic acid, I use hyaluronic acid as a topical. When you are internally injecting it into your skin, you are forever shifting how your face looks. That hyaluronic acid never really leaves. Honestly, it is one of the best things you can put inside of your skin internally. But obviously, we see the cases of people overdoing it. And when that happens, you see the face start, you see the fluid start to migrate. I would say exhibit A would be Larsa, that is someone that has too much filler in her face, and it has kind of, shifted her appearance majorly because she has overdone it, and it is just so much filler. And so now you want to keep keeping it. You touch your face is kind of hard because it's so much hyaluronic. So that's essentially what has happened to her shots, her butt injections. People take out filler. There's people that are constantly deflating their lips after they get their filler in their lips. They're like, I overdid it. I don't want this life. Infamously, I mentioned Molly May. Molly May was someone, Molly May Hague. Now, I think her and Tommy are married. Molly May is someone that has documented her process. She used to have filler in her lips, and then she was getting them removed, and her lips were smaller. For sure, the lips decrease a lot, for sure. They get smaller, but the filler is still there. You never really remove all of the hyaluronic. Also, it is super painful to remove it. It's like getting a tattoo and then getting it removed. For some reason, to get it removed, it's always hurts a lot more than getting the initial injections. So when you have all of that in you, I hope I did not just mix up filler and Botox. Regardless, when you have that in you, it doesn't leave you. So K Michelle has been honestly dealing with these bad butt shots for, I think, did they say 8 years? Let's get into it. On Portia's behalf, knowing Portia, on Portia's behalf, did she mean it negatively? I don't think she meant the comment, "Did you have a miscarriage?" negatively. However, I'm never asking a woman that as she's telling me the story, and I've never had a miscarriage. I don't know what that looks like. But even if I did, and I'm not going to wish that, but I'm just saying, I don't think that's something I would ever say out of my mouth, is someone is telling me a story. Oh my gosh, was it a miscarriage? But Portia don't mean it maliciously. That's what I will say. Did Portia know about the butt story? Yes. In her defense, she thought this was already taken care of. This is something K Michelle's going to be struggling with her whole life. Does she know about K Michelle's infertility problems? Yes, she does. But when you look at Portia, we go back to that 265 days. The lights aren't on. Gorgeous girl. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you're not on YouTube, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you give me a 5-star and a comment, please. Back to Atlanta. In Portia's defense, I don't think she meant it maliciously. I just don't think the lights are on. I don't think you would say that to a person knowing they've had miscarriages or not knowing if they've had miscarriages. That's not something your mind would go to. Portia's the lights aren't on. But she's not mean though. She just is like, it's just not there. You know what I mean? It's just not there. K Michelle went on a tweeting tyrant, and she's still on a tweeting tyrant. She's responding to people. K Michelle is very fastly becoming the Candace Dillard of Atlanta. She's doing a lot on Twitter, but she's been tweeting before she was even on Atlanta. So you know what? Keep it 100. Keep to yourself. Don't change that about yourself. But I do think she gives a lot of people energy, and the fact that she called Portia a bimbo, which she isn't wrong, but she's not wrong, but I do think she was milking it kind of the whole episode. Not even milking it. I just think she was a little overly sensitive because of the infertility issues. So it's like, why would you ask me if I had a miscarriage? She said, I thought this was a safe space. And I don't think it was not a safe space. I just think it's a bold question to ask somebody in the middle of them telling a story. But yeah, Portia, obviously in her defense, she thought, oh, we still talking about the BBL? Like, I knew this had happened to you years ago. I didn't know this was still affecting you to this day. I think that's why K Michelle wanted to talk about it on the show, is because, like, I'm still going to be sick no matter what. She actually did an interview with, was it Sherry Shepherd or someone? I don't know if it was Sherry Shepherd. She actually did an interview with someone. I think it was at not E News, but or Access Hollywood. It was one of those networks. It was the one guy. It might be E News or Entertainment Tonight. And she just said, I'm always going to be sick. Like, because of those silicone shots she got. She's always going to be sick. But, you know, obviously there's things she can do that other people can't do. And there's things people can do that she can't do. But she says she's always going to have this in her system, which is honestly what's terrible and kind of like weakens her immune system too. Like, it's honestly screwed up. So it's just never, she's never going to be 100. She might be a good 85, but she'll never be 100. And just imagine like you being sick, you know, and not to compare, but like imagine everything about you is amazing, right? You know, when you're feeling sick, you know, when you're getting over sickness, or a lot of people have said like after they had COVID, like it's like, I never got my, I'm 100% healthy, but I never got my sense of smell back or my sense of taste back. Like people never got their taste buds back. Things altered forever. People couldn't really smell. One nostril was forever clogged. That's kind of like what K Michelle will be dealing with. Obviously, COVID and silicone shots are different, but she's going to be dealing with some sort of element that is affecting her immune system for the rest of her life because she has injected these butt shots. And we don't know what was in the butt shots because it was done, I think, in a third world country. And I don't think it was the best research, or it probably was, it could have been done in Miami. You know, I don't think it was researched well at the time. And I think there was a story that came up on my For You page about this doctor. She's getting out any moment. She was sentenced back in 2017, I think like a decade in prison because she wasn't a licensed doctor and she was actually putting cement and glue in people's BBLs and shots. Like that's what she was literally putting in people's bodies, including herself, which she looked insane. And it was like in her face and everything, like cement from the ground for the ground. She was putting in people's bodies, and she was sentenced back in 2017. I think she's going to be getting out next year in 2027. That just came up on my For You page randomly, but it's like, it's something along the lines of that. Like, it's just like, it's always going to be in her to be sick. And it's honestly really sad. I don't know how sick it is, but it sounds insane for you not to know you were sitting in a puddle and it comes from your butt. TMI. It's a lot. Drew is almost, gosh, are you guys watching me on YouTube? Subscribe. And if you're not on Apple, Spotify, I'm saying this again because, guys, I need more stars and comments, please. Every time I'm about to say something shady, I'm going to remind you to leave a 5-star rating and a comment and subscribe. All the things. Drew is very comparable to Shamia to me on this show. I actually prefer Shamia a little more. Drew is so corny to me. So now she is dating Black. Is she dating Black? And why is Black showing up? Yeah, and he claims he's not from Atlanta. The only reason I would come to Atlanta is for you. Dude, you is from Atlanta. You be in Atlanta because you're showing up to an Atlanta restaurant with no top on. Who do you think you are? You're not at the club. You're not at the strip club. He's showing up to a restaurant with a dozen roses, with a black leather top, unbuttoned and no top on. You are so Atlanta. You are hot Atlanta coded for sure. That literally had me out. He got gifts for her kids too. So another thing in this episode is so interesting because we know now that she has lost custody of her children. Not full custody. Well, she's lost custody of her children and she's lost the home. she did talk about in this episode how it is difficult being a full-time mom. And I thought it was really interesting how she said the acting is what pays the bills. Like they were like, you're acting, a singer. I think she was meeting with Angela and she was like, yes, well, the acting pays the bills. She didn't say that about singing. And I'm shocked because I heard her last album was really good. And I'm shocked that's not paying the bills. But Black got her kids some gifts, so I'm assuming he's met the kids. She's still claiming this is just a friend. I don't think it's just a friend. I do think they are more than friends for sure. Um it's very interesting to me, this what she's trying to keep up, honestly. That's the issue I have with Drew, is like I do think she's a liar and she is all over the place with her stories. Like I genuinely do think that, because last season we were claiming that you and Black were not in a relationship, that was just your friend, and now that's your best friend, you love him and he's gifting you roses. It's weird. Things are getting weird. I like Pinky. And I'm glad I waited to read her husband, because the people on Twitter were like, he's trying to humble her. You know, I did say when you have two alpha people in the same industry, there's going to be some sort of competition. I do think he's probably in competition with his wife. But honestly, I do think a little competition is healthy. You know, we're both kicking it in the restaurant industry. We both have that alphaness in us. We both want more. We both challenge each other. I think last episode what we saw was him maybe getting accustomed to cameras. I do think he misspoke. I don't know. I'm going to see. But I will say after this episode, I like her husband so much more. He's easy on the eyes as well. But I do like him. Like, he is trying to help her, but she's not being completely forthtelling about what's going on. And I also understand why Pinky is not. Pinky is an alpha female and she feels like she has the weight of the restaurant industry on her shoulders. She feels like if she does not pull this off, you know, all the women that look up to her, you know, they're not going to look up to her anymore. And I just really want to hug Pinky. I think she's a really good addition. I'm not going to compare newbies because I did that last year and I was wrong because I was Team Kelly. I still like Kelly, but like the people don't like Kelly. Which I don't care, but if I were to say who I think is most doing good for me right now as a newbie, I would say Pinky, because we're getting that vulnerability. Whereas K Michelle, and I like K Michelle, you guys. It's shady, you know, she's throwing the stuff. Her confessionals are really good. I see her loosening up, but I don't know. K Michelle, I'm gonna give her a couple more episodes. She's not doing anything for me to be like, girl, that's my K Michelle. Like, I'm like, I was so ready to root for K Michelle, but that's why we don't talk about it. We be about it. Right now, I'm very impressed by Pinky. A lot of people are holding grudges, but you're not getting the full story. So a lot of people were alleging the reason they don't like her is because she doesn't pay her employees. But we don't know what was going on. So what we do know from her mouth, that's all we can go from in the court documents, is that she has to file bankruptcy because her former CFO was stealing money from the company. So that caused her having to literally being kicked off of her restaurant and like her business, and silently having to buy it back from this former CFO or whoever was doing the shady stuff. It honestly sounds like the TLC stuff from back in the day. And I know this because I was obsessed with that movie they did with Drew Sidora playing T-Boz, Keke Palmer playing Chili. I'm trying to think who played Left Eye, Lil Mama. And then my mom was like the biggest TLC fan. But I just know that whoever was put in charge of their royalties, they were not getting a lick of money. So I'm just wondering if that's what was happening with their employees, the CFO or whatever. was taking money out of the checks. I don't know if that was strictly her, or maybe there was some weeks where their payments were late and stuff because she was trying to reorganize things. She doesn't seem like someone that is honestly withholding checks just for no reason. Seems like she was someone, my name, I might be affiliated with this company, I might be the face of it, but I don't got control of it as a business entity. And I think that's what was going on. So she had to buy it back. Buying it back has caused a lot of turmoil, which is why she had to file for bankruptcy, because she has 2 lawsuits. She has a lawsuit of 100K due to some liquor license BS that was going on. And then no, that was for playing the Gervonta Davis fight in the restaurant. She said she didn't even watch the fight. I guess they were playing it. She got fined for that, 100K. Crazy. They serious about the wrestling and like the matches, the boxing fights. You got to pay for that stuff. So they didn't pay for it. They didn't get authorized to get it, but they were playing it. So they got fined 100K. Crazy, right? And she said she didn't even watch it. She said, I didn't even watch it. Now I got to pay this lawsuit for it. She has a $2 million lawsuit for liquor license or something that was going on. So basically she owes $2.1 million. She can't afford that, right? I think this is her second time though filing for bankruptcy. Like, this isn't her first time filing for bankruptcy. So she's basically filing for bankruptcy to help with assistance with those lawsuits. I can't remember if it's chapter 13 or chapter 11, but yeah, so now we know that. And I'm hoping that kind of eases the people on social media, because I feel like they were so quick to just be like, we don't want her hair. It was like, you don't even know her story. I don't know her story, you know? Yeah, I just feel like, why are we giving her such a hard time when I feel like she's being super vulnerable? And I always appreciate a new housewife being super vulnerable, which is why I love the ladies of Rhode Island. Can't wait to get into that recap. Other than that, K. Michelle does eventually end up addressing Portia about the miscarriage comment. Portia genuinely apologized. K. Michelle does not buy her apology, which I thought was really interesting because I thought y'all were friends, but it seems as though she's still hanging on to that. She does also admit those series of tweets that was going off was about Portia, and Portia was like, honestly, shocked to find that out. And then honestly, what else happened in this episode? Shamia, she got a rum thing that's going on, and I can't wish Shamia. You know, it's actually really smart what she's trying to do, the rum bum, do a glass of her like ass, basically. It was a glass of her ass, with rum. I think that's really smart, but I don't think she has it all together, because she was like literally twerking in her Fashion Nova corporate outfit. Not too much on Fashion Nova, because I actually have some really amazing pants from there that I just bought like in 2 other pairs. So I have like 3 pairs that are getting fitted right now. But not too much. But it's just like, it was so funny to me when she started twerking at the conference table, and there's like a whole family on call from Grenada that is going to be in charge of her rum, and then like her lawyer's right there, and he's just drinking his water as she twerks. You know what? I like Shamia. The girl's corny, but I do like her. So yeah. And then yeah, Pinky's husband, he is trying to offer her some help. They went on a date night, and it was really nice. It was different than their first scene. Like, you can tell he was like, no, you know, I'm like trying to help you and stuff. And then you can see in the preview of the next episode, he's like, I don't know how you got yourself in this place. You didn't even tell me. Like, you be having stuff going on, you don't even tell me. So I'm really excited to see theirs. And I think it was interesting to learn that they were a year into their relationship and they were going to get divorced. And they decided not to. And they just decided to work it out. Now they've been together for 6 years. And in 3 of those years, or they've been married for 3 years in every year. But I think they've been together for 6. Or no, they got married like a year into dating, I think. Either way, however long they've been married is however long she's been pregnant every year they've been married. I think she said 3, and I think that tracks because they have like 3 kids, and then he has his 3 kids. It was like 6 children. But she's been pregnant every year. So yeah, I thought Atlanta was really good. I hope K. Michelle doesn't take to heart what Portia said, because I honestly don't think it was that deep. Obviously, it's a very sensitive comment to make, and it's just a terrible taste. to make it in general, but I don't think Portia like meant anything by it. I don't think she was trying to shade you. I think she was genuinely curious, was it a miscarriage? Because Portia, like she said, has went through a miscarriage, so she said it sounded like a miscarriage. But K Michelle is just confused because she's like, that I've been dealing with this stuff. So for you to even question if it was a miscarriage was just shocking, right? If you're listening to me on Apple and Spotify, make sure you guys give me a 5-star rating, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment. The people loved the timeline of Amanda West and Ciara. Make sure you guys tune into that. And let's move on to Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This is episode 4. I have been eating Rhode Island up. I was actually talking to my mom about this because I was like, they didn't need to put Rhode Island on after Atlanta. I think they wanted to because Atlanta has like one of the highest viewerships up there with Beverly Hills, shockingly. I think the last Atlanta episode did close to 0.723 million or something. It was something like that. I'm always confused how the ratings read. Is that 7 million people then? Like, what does that mean? I don't know. 7 million is a reach. I don't know how that reads. But their ratings are very high, and it's always comparable to Beverly Hills, but I'm always shocked because I can't believe people are watching Beverly Hills. So, I think they did Rhode Island on Sundays because they just know it's a huger audience. Like Sundays is the elite night. It's also Black Bravo. It's what we call it. It's always a Black show on Sundays. Typically it is. And I think they wanted that audience from Atlanta. But I think Rhode Island could have held their own on a good Monday or a Wednesday night. Because it's a good show. I'm excited. Let's talk about what happened in this episode. What's so refreshing about Rhode Island is how new everyone is. It's almost a lot more genuine, I would even say, than Salt Lake City when they were first starting out. Liz has woken up from her heated argument with her good friend Kelsey, regretting it. She recognizes that she was drunk. And I will say this is the same sentiment she has had when she went on for her Watch What Happens Live debut last week with Portia. She was embarrassed. She was like, I drank too much. And yeah. And she has upheld that. She hasn't switched. In this scene, she knows I did too much. Like, I should be embarrassed. And she was embarrassed. She did confirm, though, like, that Kelsey and Dino have had a romantic relationship, and she didn't like how her ongoing, I think ongoing is really what set her off, because she's like, you're the one that has stuff that's more ongoing than me with this man. But you can tell she really had remorse because she was like, my friend did not deserve that, whatever, yada yada yada. And then on vice versa, we have Kelsey, who was genuinely afraid that she's kind of like ended her relationship with Liz, like, because you can just tell that's like a friendship she really respects, and she's like, I didn't want to really like upset her, and I feel really bad if I did it. So we have two women that are honestly feeling remorseful and that definitely want their friendship to move forward after this incident. It does end up moving forward, so that's really good. They end up having a conversation, which I'll get into. But it's nice and refreshing, like I said, to see the housewives resolve their traumas and their problems so quick, and this stuff not stretch over for a whole season like we've seen other people do. I say Salt Lake City is really good at doing this. Atlanta's really good at doing it, like in showing up. And Salt Lake is too. Like, they'll still bring it up, but it's like you're able to like talk it out and move on. People like Beverly Hills, Potomac, that stuff stretches out the whole season. It's really annoying because to be on a reality show, I do think you have to be able to sweep things under the rug, especially these are genuine friendships. We got to remember Rhode Island, these are genuine friendships. These are people that go way back. We do learn that Alicia and Liz's connection. So we learned that Alicia's mom or Liz's mom passed away very young, but we know that Liz's sister and Alicia's mom are super close and more so like best friends. But I think it's interesting to point out their relationship because Alicia admits that they are cut from the same cloth and they grew up together, but even Alicia herself is scared of Liz. Like, she says Liz always reacts like that. Because it's Liz. No, Liz isn't there. It's Alicia there. Kelsey, Rosie, Ashley. Yeah, they're all talking about the incident. And yeah, Alicia's basically like, That's how Liz reacts. And we're cut from the same cloth. I know this girl, but even she scares me. And Rosie, with that stir in the pot, I like Rosie. The people, the thing is, can we just like everyone? It is so much better when you like everyone. I love everyone on Atlanta to some extent. I don't like when I get to a point in a show when I vividly dislike someone, because for me, that means like this cannot be saved. Like it got to such a point on Potomac where I literally could not stand Giselle Bryan. Like I was disgusted every time I saw her or Robin Dixon on my screen, and I just could not do it. Like it became such a hateful season. Like Mia, like I don't want to genuinely hate anyone. I want to be able to point out people's characteristic flaws and still like them. Like I like each and every one of these girls. Like none of them genuinely annoy me. So it's annoying when I see these people on Twitter. We're 4 episodes in and you're like, I can't stand this person. She doesn't need to be on the show. It's been 4 episodes. Like, honestly, it's like them trying to get Phaedra off of Atlanta already, which I did say, like, she really is bringing nothing. But, like, clearly Bravo wanted her there for a reason. And honestly, it's only been 3 episodes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people turn up at different reasons. Like, it's like Angie had such a strong season at the beginning of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City last season and then ended on a very behind the scenes, right? Like you don't need to be activated all the time. That's what makes it a good ensemble cast. So I genuinely like Rosie because I think she is the bone carrier. I think she's the one moving along the storyline. She is the one that held on to what Alicia said about Liz being scared of her, and she brought it back up in an amazing housewife move. She was like, well, even you, Alicia, have said that you are scared of her and that um you never know what you're going to kind of get with her or how she reacts. And Alicia didn't like that. Alicia went off on Rosie. So we have friends on Rhode Island going off on each other and then making up like 2 seconds later, which I honestly love. Did Kelsey, did Rosie do that maliciously? I don't know if she did it maliciously. She did it to move the story, though. She's like, Alicia, that's not what you were saying yesterday. You were just talking. And I don't even think she was talking crap. She was just saying Liz can be intimidating. And this stems from basically us not knowing that Liz and Ashley don't really click. Ashley claims she's just shy. Liz blames it on, you're not even trying to look me in the eye. Like, what's going on? Rosie's like, you come on very intimidating. So maybe that's why. Like, she's just nervous around you, all of that stuff, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, it was just crazy to see Alicia turn up. And then the ladies are like, well, dang. Alicia and Liz are pretty similar. They turn up and the next day they're hugging you. Within the next 10 minutes, she's hugging Rosie after cussing her out. After telling her, welcome to Rhode Island, bitch. Like, honestly, so effing for real. What else is going on? I'm nervous for Alicia. I'm nervous for her, but I'm happy for her because she's on Real Housewives of Rhode Island now. I would be nervous if she wasn't on this franchise because it seems as though she is literally going to get screwed out of her husband. Didn't know he's an immigrant from Greece. He is trying to leave her nothing. She said even when she brings up something, he's just not trying to leave her anything. So I'm very scared for her, but now I'm not because I'm like, you're on Rhode Island, so you're going to be making your own money. But she says she gets embarrassed when she does have to ask him for money. Like she wishes she didn't have to ask him for money. But I don't like that for her. So I hope she gets a better prenup, but that's literally sounds like the reason she's not marrying him because it's honestly giving what her mom went through. Her mom went through that with her dad leaving them with nothing, right? But bills. So that really scares me, but I'm happy cuz I'm like you're on Rhode Island. Y'all are definitely gonna be greenlit for the next couple seasons. That man tries to tell you to give up your show versus, the relationship. I hope you give up the relationship because why not? He's gonna definitely try that, especially because you were spilling a lot. I gotta watch Women's Live to see if he came because Alicia made her debut with Angela Oakley, but I didn't watch that episode. I want to see if her husband's there because she's saying a lot. And yeah, like I said, I'm scared for her because I'm like, girl, please tell me you have a secret account. And if not, you need to open one. Have a secret account, ladies, and put some of that money up. The money he gives you, put it up. Put it up. this is interesting. There's always something going on in Rhode Island. Apparently, Rosie was on medical leave at the station and she enjoyed not working. So she just never came back to work. But the word on the street, according to Kelsey, and the word on the island, I guess, Rhode Island, is that she was having an affair with one of the higher ups at her TV station, like one of the executives. It's giving Carol Radziwill and Anthony Radziwill, but not in a favorable way. Like, obviously, that's a love story, but it's giving like sleep your way to the top. That's how Kelsey said it. I don't think Rosie did that. I do think she had an affair, though. I do think she had an affair. I want to know what that storyline is, though. I want to know what that overlap is, and it's definitely going to be brought up because the amount of rumors on Rhode Island is insane. What else happened besides the big fight? We have Joel. So we do know that Liz's husband Jerry is no longer doing the sport fishing thing, and that's how this whole thing even started with the whole Dino thing, because he was like, please check on my wife while I am, sport fishing, which was like 3 weeks out of a month. He'd come back for a couple of days, then he'd be gone another 3 weeks out of the month. So he was gone like 6 months out of the year. That's where all the rumors came from. So basically Liz was cleaning out the boat, and that's when her and Kelsey had their powwow, and where it was revealed that Kelsey was actually hooking up with Dino 10 years ago. And this is before she was in a mutually exclusive relationship with the man that is 6 months away out of the year in Miami. They were dating, but they weren't mutually exclusive. So I guess she had hooked up with Dino. She saw some sides of Dino. Like, she had decided she didn't really want to get involved with him anymore. And I guess he would start stalking her, like following her around places, or like not wanting her to entertain certain men. And it turned pretty toxic pretty quick. So she doesn't like even being around Dino. And I thought it was interesting because when Dino even came to Liz's party, her confessional was super weird. Like, she's like, yeah, I see Dino walking, but I like turn the other way. Like, it was very weird. Like, it was like, do y'all got something going on? Oh, they had something going on 10 years ago. So that's what Liz was alluding to. Rhode Island, you guys, is small. Ellen was not on here. Oh my gosh, her makeup in the after show looks so good, you guys. It looks really good. She was not really in this episode because she was away on a business trip, but I do think I enjoy Ellen as well. And it's interesting that her sister was over helping take care of the kids. The same sister that you poached your current husband from. And so you see her current husband and her sister's relationship. It's a little flirty. But I think her sister's just like lonely and just like flirting. I think it's harmless. Like, I don't think her sister would ever do that, but we don't know. Rhode Island is so freaking small. Like, they all honestly shock me whenever I'm like, someone wouldn't do that, they do it. So I don't know. I got my eye on her husband and her sister. Other than that, it's just some shameless flirting, and she's well aware of the flirting going on. But that was like another amazing episode, honestly. I'm like trying to make sure I hit everything. It was another amazing episode. Here's the thing with Rhode Island. I like everyone. I want to give my rankings thus far. Definitely Liz. I'm putting Liz up there. I'm putting oh gosh, this is so difficult. I'm definitely doing Liz as top dog for me. Like, I love her. In second place is definitely probably Joellen. Third place we have, I'm gonna put Kelsey there. Fourth place, I'm gonna put Alicia. Fifth place, Rosie. Rosie honestly might be higher for me if I really sat down. And then I'm gonna put Ashley, then Ruella. But I'll probably put Rula first because Rula over Ashley because she has better one-liners. And I feel like I'm missing someone. Is that all the girls? I think that's all of them. There's 6 of them. And then we have Dolores, who I think is doing a really good job. It's just like a friend of. I'm enjoying all the ladies. Like I said, I don't dislike anyone. Rula also was able to have a conversation with Alicia's aunts this episode. And, I think Rula's just considering a lot. Like I said, if she decides to stay on the show, I think we will see a divorce very soon because she'll be making her own money and she will realize that her man is still cheating on her. And they've had some really messy stuff. Like, he got arrested in December for putting a car tracker on her car. I don't know. Speaking of car trackers, Lisa Hochstein's, what is it called? Mugshot has been released. Face, amazing. That is another person that has too much filler though, because she was gorgeous like beforehand. But she's still gorgeous, but face was tea. And then she went to, I think, like a happy hour or a dinner after, and she showed up in a red bottom for her mugshot. And then we do know Alexia and Adriana did show up and hugged her like she was like literally leaving prison. We're going to be following that story, which we do know is that it was apparently a recording device was placed on Lenny's car, and that they were trying to intercept communications with his lawyers and figure out what he was doing, his next move and stuff. So I will be following that case as well and give you guys updates like I've been giving you with the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, even though that was a little messy update in the beginning. I was like, what am I reading? Like, that article is all over the place. Thank you so much for listening to another Toxic Tuesday episode. If you haven't, make sure you tune into What's the Reality on What the Reality. I break down the Sierra West Amanda of it all. If you are watching me on YouTube, please subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. Good comments, positive vibes only. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, 5-star rating, comment, please. Let's get it up there. We have some big things planned for the year for the pod, and I'm super excited. And I will see you guys next Toxic Tuesdays. Bye.